Welcome to Mecarium. In this video, we'll show you the full process of swapping the body of a 1966 Chevrolet C10 that was off the road for over 30 years onto the frame of a 2011 Chevrolet Tahoe. The teardown of the Tahoe begins with disassembling the engine compartment. The process starts by removing the air filter housing, followed by the intake pipe, overflow tank, and AC components to provide better access to the engine bay. After removing the dashboard and the rest of the interior components, Dan begins cutting the body of the Tahoe into manageable sections. This approach allows for more efficient removal and makes the overall job easier. Preparing the engine for removal begins with taking off all accessories and disconnecting the wiring harness. The engine is cleaned with a pressure washer, effectively blasting away layers of built-up grime, dirt, and grease. Once the oil baffle, pickup tube, and both the front and rear covers are removed, the timing chain is replaced with a new one. Once the mating surfaces are thoroughly cleaned, the oil pump is installed, followed by new front and rear covers, and finally, the oil pan is bolted into place. The process concludes with a coat of paint applied to protect the engine from corrosion. To prepare the chassis for further modifications, Dan removes the remaining engine components to gain full access to the frame. Now that all components are free of debris and corroded areas have been treated with rust remover, the surfaces are being painted to provide a protective finish. The original bump stops are replaced with shortened versions, and a new brake shield is installed to help ensure optimal performance. The old fuel pump is removed, and a new one is installed and connected to the fuel system. The new pump regulates fuel supply and ensures consistent delivery to the engine. The old control arms are replaced with new ones, and the steering knuckle is then mounted in place, followed by the installation of the brake shield. Next, the front brake rotor, caliper, and brake pads are fitted. The process is completed with the addition of new lowering keys and the connection of the brake hoses. A support bracket is fitted to strengthen the connection between key suspension components. During the engine refresh, the alternator is installed with proper belt alignment, followed by fitting the PCV valve to effectively regulate crankcase gases. Next, new spark plugs are installed to ensure efficient combustion, and the process is finished by connecting the coil packs. The intake manifold is cleaned to maximize airflow efficiency. Then, EGR delete plates and the MAP sensor are installed to improve combustion stability, reduce carbon buildup, and ensure precise engine management. The C10 separation process begins with the removal of the hood, hinges, and radiator cover. The next steps follow to continue the disassembly and prepare the vehicle for the frame swap. The body is disassembled using various tools to ensure that essential parts remain undamaged for later use. The Tahoe frame is prepared to accommodate the welding of the new kit and test fitting of the bulkhead. Since the new mounts are test-fitted and adjusted for proper alignment, the exhaust headers are installed, and the engine is filled with oil. New spark plug wires are installed, the radiator support is secured in place, and the Terminator X system is wired to control ignition and fuel delivery. The C10 body is cleared of all excess parts and prepared for surface treatment by grinding away old rust, ensuring a clean foundation for future repairs. The radiator, along with the cooling fan, is securely mounted to the frame to ensure efficient engine cooling. It's time to address the front clip. Surface rust is removed to expose clean metal, which is then coated with a rust-inhibiting paint for long-term protection. All rust is thoroughly ground off the surfaces of the grille and hood cowl, which are then coated with a protective paint to prevent future corrosion. The rivets on the headlight buckets are ground out, the components are cleaned, and then reassembled. To prepare the underside of the hood for painting, it is scrubbed and ground to clean it. Rust-proof paint is then applied, followed by a protective bed liner coating. The bottom of the cab is treated in the same way. The firewall is repaired to address any damage, then treated with rust reformer paint and coated with a durable bed liner to ensure long-lasting protection. The same procedure is applied to the cab floor to maintain consistent corrosion resistance. It's time to restore the seats. The original upholstery is severely worn and damaged, making it unusable, so all old material is completely removed. The steel frame is then sanded to remove rust and coated with rust-inhibiting paint to protect and preserve the structure. Work continues on the seats. Synthetic burlap is laid over the springs to provide support, followed by custom-cut foam for cushioning. Finally, the new seat cover is carefully fitted to complete the restoration. The old paint on the dashboard is being ground off to prepare the surface for fresh paint and a smooth, lasting finish. The doors are dismantled, exposing substantial rust along the lower sections, likely due to years of moisture accumulation, though the window glass remains in good condition, making it suitable for reuse in the reassembly process. The dashboard is properly positioned and welded in place, ensuring accurate fitment for the future installation of gauges, wiring, and other components. Dan adds coolant and power steering fluid, ensuring that both systems are ready for operation, and the engine starts successfully. The doors and interior surfaces of the cab are painted white to enhance brightness. Meanwhile, the exterior areas receive a clear coat finish, providing a glossy shine. One of the most challenging tasks in the renovation is installing the windshield, which is carefully positioned to ensure a proper fit. Finally, the cab is mounted and fitted onto the frame. The master cylinder is mounted to the firewall and connected to the brake system. This is followed by the installation of the steering column and gas pedal, completing the driver control setup. After installing the sound deadener, the wiring process begins with the mounting of the Terminator X engine management system and the battery. This is followed by the installation of the dome light and subsequently the gauge cluster. Dan mounts the door frames and then fits the handles, latches, and window regulators to complete the door assembly. the headlights are installed, and the grille is prepared for attachment, bringing the front-end components together. With the steering wheel installed and the carpet fitted, the interior work is nearly complete. The fenders are aligned on the body mounts and securely fastened to ensure proper fitment and consistent panel gaps. With the grille mounted to the front clip, the radiator covers are installed. Following this, the hood latch assembly is mounted, completing the structural setup at the front of the vehicle. With the parking lights installed, assembly has progressed to fitting the throttle cable bracket. At the same time, preparations are underway to mount the hood. The next step involves pressure washing the chassis bed, followed by grinding to remove all the rust. A rust reformer paint is applied to treat and prevent further corrosion. Once cured, the chassis bed is painted black for protection. The entire bed is cleaned through pressure washing and scrubbing, while the tailgate is removed for precision repair welding to restore proper functionality. The fenders are positioned and fastened on both sides to ensure proper alignment and to avoid interference during vehicle operation. With 2 coats of clear spray, the metal achieves a high gloss finish and long-term protection. The door panel is mounted securely, and the window regulator and door crank are installed. Side mirrors are then fitted to complete the exterior assembly. The bed is being mounted as the assembly approaches completion, with only minor tasks remaining to finalize the process. At engine startup, a ticking noise is detected coming from the headers, so Den removes the headers to weld the gap and then reinstalls them. The transmission service starts with draining the used automatic transmission fluid to eliminate debris from the system. The old filter is replaced, and new shift solenoids are installed to regulate the flow of transmission fluid within the system, ensuring proper gear shifting. The 2023 Bronco steel wheels are being mounted on the truck, replacing the old wheels to improve safety, ensure reliable performance, and give the vehicle a refreshed appearance. Wiper components are aligned for effective coverage of the windshield, maintaining clear visibility in different weather conditions. The old can is being repurposed as a component of the fuel system. The bottom of the can is cut out, and hoses are attached to ensure efficient fluid transfer. The wood panels are sanded smooth and coated with epoxy to create a finished surface for the truck bed. The can is bolted, and the wooden cover is mounted on the bed. It really looks good. An old army can is cleaned, a clear coat is applied, and it is securely fastened to the truck bed, repurposed into a functional toolbox. The Chevrolet C10 has now been successfully swapped onto a Tahoe frame, combining classic aesthetics with the power and performance of modern engineering. Ready to take on the open road with the power and comfort of a fully transformed vehicle, this truck is primed for any adventure that lies ahead.